Welcome to the Ultimate Insurance Agency Podcast, Planet of the Agents. Planet of the Agents. Where we give you the...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Planet of the Agents, the Ultimate Insurance Agency Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to discuss the use of AI, or artificial intelligence, at insurance agencies. Before I jump into the show, make sure you are subscribed, that you've tap that little like button, tap that little download button, the plus sign, whatever it takes where you're listening. If it's on YouTube, you want to subscribe. Podcasts, make sure that you've got your automatic downloads on and that you follow the show. All right. Really quickly, if you do want to reach out to me, you want me to discuss anything on the show, you have questions, comments, inspiration, sadness, whatever it is, all I want you to do is click over to planetoftheagents.com. That's right. Just click over to planetoftheagents.com and you will be able to contact me. It's very easy. You can also sign up for my once in a while newsletter. One of my favorite things to say. All right. Now, for as long as I've been in business, people have been talking about the ways that something is going to change the insurance agency business. In the past, I think the big concern was just the internet and direct-to-consumer direct writers. Sometimes that's called DTC in other industries. What that means is that a carrier goes directly to the consumer. Well, I actually thought the insurtechs were a bigger issue because they go directly to the consumer. Now, there hasn't been wide adoption yet as compared to what we see with the agency model. Now, in personal lines, it's much wider. There's a lot more adoption. A lot of people go direct to the direct writers. That's well known. In the commercial side, I think things are quite different. But AI, well, people, that is a whole new step right there. Why is that? Well, because it's not just buying something on the internet. There are so many ways AI can interact with people. And in today's episode, let's talk about a few ways that you can use AI, or artificial intelligence, to improve your insurance business. Make sure that you do go to the website and click the agency resources section, because I actually have a link on there for an AI product that I'm trying for inbound phone calls. It's very interesting. You can really program it to do quite a few things, like send links. Let's just use that as the first example and jump in. Number one, you can use AI for a form of customer service or answering the phone. That's not a huge jump for a lot of people because you're used to somebody answering the phone. If it happens to be a robot, so be it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's just part of where we're going. And that doesn't mean that your people won't still interact with people. You can have the AI simply answer the phone and route the phone calls. You could do that if you'd like. But what if someone wants to call and get a quote and they don't need it right over the phone in real time? What can you do? You can program the AI system to gather the necessary information and then send it to you in an email, possibly a text message, or even upload it directly into a spreadsheet for you. Yeah. Did you catch that? You can literally have it take a message, ask the key questions, your basic questions you need for rating or quoting a policy, and then it will just put it into a spreadsheet for you. How do I know? Because I'm testing it to see what it feels like, because I want to be able to discuss it with you more in the future. The next thing you can do is you can use an AI chatbot, meaning something that responds on your website. Now, I know some of you don't really get that much web traffic. After talking to a lot of people, I hear that a lot of people just aren't getting that many leads off their website. That's obviously an entire another discussion we're going to need to have one day, where you really need to beef up your websites and make them a little more interactive, appealing. You need them to have some functionality in the sense of perhaps gathering data, and also you have to be discoverable. So those are things that you might want to talk to your web people about, or if you have some skills, you're going to want to make sure that you're up to snuff, as some people say. Okay, let's talk about the next thing you can use artificial intelligence for. There is outbound calling. Now, I have not personally tested anything like that. I happen to work more on the wholesale side of the industry, so I work with agents, so the outbound calling isn't the same. But for those of you who get a lot of leads or need to contact customers about various things, that could be a huge opportunity for you. There are so many ways that you could do that. Now, make sure you're compliant with all the various rules. Okay, you want to pay attention to that, look that stuff up, make sure you understand how it works. You can't just call 10,000 people, to the best of my knowledge. I'm not an expert in this. You need to read up on all the rules about outbound calling, make sure that you're compliant. Next, you can use AI to do things like personalized marketing. You can actually use AI to create marketing pieces for your customers based on their names, based on what they have. There's so many things you can do. And by marketing pieces, I could be talking about images, I can be talking about flyers, we can talk about social media posts. There's so many things that you can do. And a lot of it is free. Let me repeat that again. A lot of things are actually free. Now, answering services, outbound calling, certain creative devices, reporting, meaning like analysis, those pieces of software probably aren't free. Well, the alarm's going off. It's a reminder. I say the word free and it just gets crazy. But the key thing here is that you have the ability to use those services that are free. And then when you're ready to use something that's not free and you want to step it up a notch, you have a lot of options out there. It's like shocking all the things you can do. And I just went to the Insurance Technology Convention, also known as ITC, in Las Vegas. And a lot of what I saw was for predictive modeling, claims risk, service processing, things of that nature. It was very different. But it was not the same as what an insurance agent might use directly with a consumer. Okay. Another thing you could do if you want to step it up a notch is use some predictive analytics. Like you could put in the information about how many, say, monoline or package policies you have, and then analyze, when people cancel, how many people leave if they are with packages, meaning maybe you have your general liability, professional liability, and property on the commercial side, or on the personal line side, you might have home, auto, umbrella, motorcycle, etc. These are all things that you can look into by basically programming it in there. Another way that you can use AI is to create educational pieces. There are some amazing things that you can do simply to have it create the text for flyers. Obviously, you're going to want to look it over. You're the licensed professional, not the computer, right? So you want to make sure that you have looked that over. You want to make sure that you read something before you publish it. That makes sense, right? Now, let's do a quick sidebar here. Be careful about using AI to generate content for your web pages, because that can be frowned upon, or that can actually demote you in Google and similar search services. Pay attention to that, okay? Don't just pump out a bunch of content and then post it on your website. You should read up on how Google treats AI-generated content. In some cases, like on YouTube, you might have to disclose that you're using AI to do things. But on that note, you can also use it for YouTube videos. You can use it for Instagram posts. You can use it for other forms of social media. That's pretty amazing. Here's another simple thing you can do with some AI. You can use it to generate ideas for you. Seriously, you can generate ideas like, what are certain ways to talk to people about certain types of insurance? What are some form letters I can use? What are some talking points I can use? It's very impressive what you can do. One feature that I like when you have a CRM system, like a client retention manager or client relation manager, you can use it to automate reminders and follow-ups. You can say it's time to schedule a policy review on a certain date. You have the system pull all the policies that expire on a certain date. You could even have it perhaps send you an email saying, here are all the people you need to contact. Here are their premiums. You said you wanted to contact all people with a certain premium or a certain number of policies. Here's your to-do list. Amazing. Amazing. I can't tell you all the things that we can do, because it's limitless. It's just limitless what you can do, and it can reduce your cost as well. Now, for example, I was using a certain type of answering service before when I couldn't pick up the phone, or when my team couldn't pick up the phone. But what the AI has done is really added a beautiful feature where it can give people answers while they're waiting to speak to somebody. I think that's pretty amazing. Now, depending on what level your agency's at in terms of analyzing things, you can program all kinds of analysis, data retention, and just different things to analyze your data that you have. Now, this is going to depend on how you have data, what data you have. Is it just, name, address, phone number? You can want to track what zip codes are best for you. You could do things like that, but there are much bigger things you can do. Like, you could say something like, show me which industries purchase the most policies from us, have the highest premiums, where are the cross-sell opportunities, and you can put all of that into a system. Yeah, it's pretty amazing what you can do. It's just shocking what you can do, and your opportunity is simply unlimited. So, these are just the tip of the iceberg, and AI is coming more and more and more, and it's going to be in our lives in many different ways. So why not take a few minutes to analyze what you could do to build something for your agency to help you do more business, retain more business, and also make your life easier, I think that is very, very helpful. Okay, thanks for joining me on this episode of Planet of the Agents. Make sure you are subscribed to my newsletter at planetoftheagents.com. Hey, guess what? You want to click the button to join the newsletter. You can also reach out to me, of course, anytime by going to planetoftheagents.com. And make sure to follow me on Instagram for some of the fun photos that I'm posting from insurance conventions and other things going on in the world of insurance agencies. All right, everybody. Last thing, make sure you give a little thumbs up, 5 stars, a heart, whatever you see on your screen, on your platform for this episode of the show, and make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you all in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Planet of the Agents. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And head over to our website at planetoftheagents.com to sign up for our newsletter and get even more information on how to grow your insurance agency.